literally like it's his first time together.
It's Henry Westerns on video. The boys are back. Yeah, we're going to talk some Euros. You'll see Paul and Alex. We'll put this out as an audio and a YouTube video. We're wearing football shirts. There's a few visual clues around the video. So if you can name all of the football shirts on display, I'll think about doing a giveaway by the end of the podcast. There's two on my screen. One I'm wearing. Paul is wearing a shirt. He's got two in the background, and Alex is wearing a shirt. We'll want and yeah, there's another shirt. If you're listening to this podcast, you've got please like, rate, and review us across YouTube and across on Spotify and all that. But who cares? It's been a while since I've had you guys. I think we recorded one for Mother's Day and never put it out, and I don't think you've been back on since. So it's been over a year.
Why did you not put it out?
I listened back to it and it was really good, but I thought it was just a little bit
Mum would cry
with Mum, and then I've just it's got to the point where I don't know if maybe Alex is still in America, Paul is still in Germany. Paul's going to be our German correspondent, and Alex is going to be some sort of correspondent. But before,
hey man, hey dude, cool.
Before we get on to Euro 2024, Paul, let's go to you, ask you how you're doing, and then let's briefly talk about the miracle of Bochum, because you are a season ticket holder. Bochum done well all season, messed it up at the end, lost the playoff at home 3-0. Fortuna Dusseldorf away. They would get a 3-0 win and win on penalties, and they're still in the Bundesliga.
They are. I think the next season might be the last one for a while.
Yeah.
There's 10 players left on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the release list. Out of a squad of how many? 30 odd?
Yeah. But all 10 of them were first teamers.
Oh, so okay.
So Asano, our Japanese international, he went.
Will they all stay in the? Will they move to other German clubs? Or?
He hasn't got a club yet, but Kevin Stuger, our Austrian international, who last season, this tells you how bad our strikers are. He created the most chances ever in a Bundesliga season, and I think we only scored 20 goals all season.
Was he the guy? Was he the guy taking the penalties?
Yeah,
yeah.
He's now gone to Mönchengladbach,
who are in the top flight or in the bottom. Yeah.
Who finished 3 points above us.
And see, with the little one being not quite so little, you were able to go to most, but not all of your games at home this year.
Yeah, dependent on. It's not too much on the little German. It's more dependent on the bigger German.
Very politically.
Hopefully she doesn't listen.
And
but no, I think I went to out of 17. I've done 11 of them. So.
Oh, that's good.
That's not too bad. I got my €225 worth.
Yeah. Do you sell your tickets if you don't go?
I sell my tickets anyway when I don't go. But they put the price up as well. It's extortionate. €250 now.
Is that
for 17 games and free travel there and back to them.
Why do you get free travel?
It's subsidised travel, so you get in my ticket. I can use any local transport to get there.
That's crazy.
And Paul, we've had the miracle of Bochum.
I think that's still cheaper than Dover.
Probably.
And over in the USA, we've had an even bigger miracle because you, Axel, won a international.
That big.
You are what? International, global, local teacher of the year?
Participate Learning Teacher of the Year, 2024.
Participate Learning is the company who employ you?
Yeah. Global teachers that are in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, but they can also be around America in global schools. So there's over 2,500 teachers.
So you are the best of 2,500 national teachers.
I mean, I wouldn't say best. I managed to bullshit the most.
Was there a monetary prize, or was it just the flowers and balloons they got you?
You got an Apple Mac, and you got $1,000, and you present at a few thingies like conferences and stuff.
So how much?
$1,000 of an Apple Mac.
How much did you get for the Mac on eBay?
No, Mariah's got it. I don't use a Mac, so I gave it to her.
Oh. And for all our UK fans, all 15 of them who will ever watch or listen to this, both of you are making appearances in Deal in the coming 4 to 6 weeks, aren't you?
Yeah, July 27th of July. I shall be there for 2 weeks.
And I'll be
And
there.
it's my birthday when I'm there. So if anyone out there wants to buy me a beer on the 6th of August, I shall be in the King's Head.
We'll put the Weatherspoons table number out via a tweet.
I've already
Gonna
spoke to Enid's godfather and got a table booked for the Martha Trust Day.
Oh, yeah.
Not for me, I can't book one, but Enid can apparently.
Yeah, of
And
course.
you're coming over a bit earlier, Alex. You've got to do some visa renewals. You've
Yeah.
got a wedding that's actually in London that you thought was in Scotland.
Who fucking knows? I'm just gonna. Well, my friend, our friend Alex, he's picking me up, so he's just gonna take us, me and Mariah and I.
What, to Scotland or London?
Who knows where he's gonna take us?
Yeah.
No, it's near London.
But you thought it was Scotland.
Yeah, well, he's Scottish and his family all live in Scotland, and that's where the money is. So I thought we'd be going to Scotland.
So where? Because it could be near you because we're quite near London. So where is it? What's the place called?
I couldn't tell you.
It's in Southwark, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't worry about logistics. I'm back 10th of July to maybe around the mid to late 20th. It depends when my visa comes back, and then I can book my flight.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Via Germany?
This time next week,
I'll try.
The football will be kicking off in Paul's second home nation over in Germany. And this is Saturday. Yesterday, England played their last warm-up game. We are three English people, so let's talk about England first. Did either of you watch? Yes, I know it probably doesn't count for a huge amount, but we were shite.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I was working, but I followed it closely and watched the highlights and read the match report, and it was, by all accounts, terrible.
it was terrible. Foden was off it. Walker looked bad. Yeah, they looked a little bit. Iceland, they play this low block which is just every man behind the ball, which they like to call it a tactic.
But that's exactly what Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia are going to do to us.
Oh, so, yeah, of course. But we looked a little bit clueless. Yeah, let's hope it's not a sign of things to come. Did you watch it all, Paul?
I watched it from about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't really watch much of it. I spent most of the time on Instagram because it was that bad.
Could there be a suggestion that players might want to avoid getting injured? Although it didn't seem that way to me. They just seemed like they weren't on it.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a nothing game. I don't think it matters too much what comes to the tournament.
I don't know. I think people like Gordon and Eze and, the ones who don't have a starting place, Manu, they would want to give their all 100% to make sure they get on a starting place on the first match. Your Kanes and your Walkers, they couldn't care because they're going to start no matter what. But like your Palmers, he would want to show up, wouldn't he? So that then he gets off. I can't leave him out first game.
Yeah. I hope he's. Should we have a look? Let's talk about. Everyone else has talked about it, but the early announcement that Rashford wouldn't be going. We talked about it in the WhatsApp group. I was surprised and not surprised. His form didn't deserve probably a seat on the plane, but does he offer a little bit more than somebody like Anthony Gordon, who's gone based on form, Axel?
Yeah, you got to take Rashford, haven't you? Because just for the campaigns that he's been on, his experience, I'd much rather bring Rashford on for the last 15 minutes.
So we should take Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips as well then?
No, Jordan Henderson and Calvin Phillips, they haven't played a game. At least, yeah, he's been playing.
Terribly.
And it's the same, he should have took Grealish as well.
I think so.
Grealish, I agree with. Grealish should be in there, but you can't take Rashford when you've got players like Anthony Gordon.
But you can't take a
Gareth Bowen getting 20 goals a season.
You can't take all three of them in their first tournament, though. You can take two of them and a Rashford. Yeah. You can take a Bowen, a Palmer, and a Rashford. You can take an Eze, a Palmer, and a Rashford. You can't take all three of them.
Jarrod Bowen 100% deserves to go based on form and goals, but it appears that he is not a consideration for Southgate as a starter, where someone like Anthony Gordon is probably pushing for a starting point. But realistically, is there a bit of club bias there, Pitts? Because Bowen, I would say, is potentially the first name on the team sheet if you look at the way he's played for West Ham. But I don't think Southgate considers him anywhere close to his first choice 11.
No, but I think he's going to play 30 minutes a game.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I think he will do. I think he'll start with people like Palmer. Even if Foden comes off, Bowen can go. He's not as good as Foden, but he can play in that same position behind the striker or go out wide.
I don't know if Bowen is.
Bowen.
I don't know if Bowen's going to get on, because if you start with Palmer and Gordon, you've still got Eze, and you've
who's going to start?
You've
Kane,
still got Saka,
Foden.
Kane, Saka, Foden, and then it will either be Gordon or Eze.
I don't rate Saka anyway, but
performs for England though.
Yeah, but so does Rashford.
Yeah.
Rashford.
Midfield. All these lists, Alexander-Arnold is listed as a midfielder. I mean, I don't mind having him in the squad. Bellingham, Declan Rice to play. So Bellingham will play the slightly advanced role with Rice, the more holding role. So is it then 4 attackers in front of them, Axel?
What, in front of Rice and whoever's with him, Manu or Gallagher?
Do you think Manu or Gallagher play? So what's Southgate going with at the minute? Is it a 4-2-4? What is it?
It's a 4-2-1-3, is it not? And he puts Bellingham as the attacking.
Yeah.
But I would rather Bellingham played as the. I don't know, actually. I'd rather Bellingham was his Real Madrid position, higher up where Foden would be.
So he plays in that 10 really at Madrid, doesn't he? Off a striker.
Yeah, but we don't have enough midfielders. If you look at the list, we've got Arnold as a midfielder, and that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 7 midfielders, and Trent Alexander counts as one of them.
Yeah, I mean Gallagher's all right. Mainu, I think, is a wonderful young talent, Pitts, but even though he's had a standout season in the shite Man United side.
He's not going to get game, is he?
He's not going to start.
Who? Mainu?
Mainu.
I think he starts alongside Rice.
No.
If he's going to put Bellingham up, if he's going to have Bellingham above them two.
Yeah.
Because Bellingham will be up and down.
I'd be interested to see who he does start with, who his 11 is. Because I haven't got a clue, to be honest, but I just can't see him starting.
Else you have to put Gallagher next to Rice.
Yeah, I'd have Gallagher in there instead of Mainu.
It's whether in this first game, who is it, Slovenia, the first game? So it's whether you literally throw Harry Kane, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Saka, and then you put Bellingham. And is Rice good enough? Can you trust Bellingham enough? Can you have those 4 really attack-minded players?
I think what I will say about Rice is I think you can leave him in there on his own and he's good enough against them 3 teams to just sit
in the
on
qualifying, because maybe Stones, because Stones can step out from the back
to get through the qualifiers. That's what I'd be doing. I'd just be leaving him in there.
I saw a Twitch streamer actually, but his suggestion was in the qualifying, why don't we back ourselves to just outplay these lesser teams and see how we get on. The problem being, if you lose the first one with that attitude, you're a bit.
And what just happened against Iceland might make Southgate nervous. Yeah. And then you've had 0 preparation for a group game. You play like that against all them 3, and then you come up against a tough team.
Yeah.
Do you carry on, or do you change tactics, or it's tournament football, isn't it?
Are we? What are we thinking? The general consensus seems to be that. Well, 3 days ago, when Maguire was left out, people were suggesting that it would be Dunk alongside Stones, but Gahey started yesterday, and then the general thought in the commentary was probably that would be the starting 11 or the starting centre-back pairing.
Yeah. He's got a low squad number as well. He's number 4 or 5, I think. Gahey.
They've released them today, haven't they?
Yeah, so he should probably be starting.
I don't follow Crystal Palace apart from when they walloped Man United towards the end of the season. He's obviously had a good season.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts, Axel? Dunk versus Gahey? You going with Gahey?
I'd rather him over Dunk. Yeah, at least Stones can talk him through it. But then the trouble is, if we we get in a lot of trouble if we don't have Stones. That's
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that with that Gay that he plays. He's a real good defender, but when we're going to have 70% of the possession against teams in this group, he doesn't get that at Palace. He's an active defender at Palace.
yeah,
So
neither
does he
does
just if he comes across
No, I'm not saying Lewis Dunk is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pick either of them to be.
Konza, I guess.
so is Stones is really, if we play it coming up against that blooming tactic that everyone like that low block that everyone's going to employ, is Stones almost that quarterback role then, because he's the guy who's going to bring it out. Him and Rice will be the main build up. Paul, the fullback, it looks like Trippier is probably going to start on the left. Kyle Walker is booked into that right back spot. Trippier's going. He's had an up and down season with Newcastle. He's probably the best option without. Well, he's the only option without Shaw. But if Shaw doesn't get fit and you come up against France, Spain, Italy, Portugal in the later rounds,
If you're talking about people who play good in tournaments,
Trippier,
Trippier, he turns up.
Yeah,
he'll give you a 7 out of 10 every game, won't he?
Yeah, and occasionally score a worldie of a free kick or put in a cross, creates chances. I think Aaron Cresswell has been unlucky not to get in. But
any other English-based West Ham players who you feel might have been hard?
Well, I'd have took Antonio, but Jamaica stole him.
He played yesterday, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
Is there any? There's always a concern for me, but I think it's a bit of historical bias, stroke piss taking. I think Henderson. I mean, Henderson's a backup keeper. Pickford, he is our first choice goalie. I think he's actually quite a good keeper.
He is our best. Yeah.
He is our best.
A bit
Ramsdale, I thought he was coming from back in the day. I was a goalie. I thought he was a bit hard done by with, when they turn that goal that Iceland scored yesterday, when they come in, shoot near post through the defender's legs, and Twitter and Instagram exploded with, get him off. Can we take him out of the squad? Blah, blah, blah.
You can't get beat from there.
Yeah. It wasn't that bad, was it?
You're not stopping that.
Yeah.
Unless you stood at your near post and then they'll go, his position was terrible. They put it in the far post.
Yeah.
It was a good finish.
It was more Stones' fault than Ramsdale. And you don't see everyone calling for Stones.
Before we move on and look at Germany and then some of the other big hitting or the bigger nations with a chance to win. I spoke to, I'm going to release a podcast. Tommy Bissett talked some football with me last week. And towards the end of the England discussion, I asked him if we make it to the later stages that we do, and we come up against Italy or France or Portugal in the later stages, what does this England squad get over the line in that big game that we just failed to do against Italy last time, Paul?
Yeah, because I think we tear the bigger teams apart because they'll give us more space.
Fair enough, Axel. Paul's very positive.
I think we have,
even with that team, England are favourites.
I think
everyone's like the bookies don't just make the odds up.
Yeah.
England are favourites for a reason.
Everywhere.
It's not because someone thinks they're doing it. It's all based on maths, isn't it? It's based on form.
Yeah.
So what if it's Italy in the final at this tournament, like exactly the same as the last one, Axel? Do England win it this time round?
I think Southgate.
I said no. I don't think they get over the line.
I think Southgate's made his bed, so he's going to have to lie in it. And if we do get into a final like that, I hope he starts the youngsters that he's picked. He's got rid of Henderson, he's got rid of Rashford, he's got rid of Grealish. So start them, and if he starts them and they're on form, we'll win. If an Eze, a Bowen, and I don't know, Idris Gay at the back, and if they play an 8 out of 10 game, we'll beat anyone.
I like that. And I think what you're saying also is if we get to the final playing reasonable football against Italy or France, someone, and then Southgate thinks, well, I'm going to put Alexander-Arnold in the midfield for the final, takes a Mainu out, takes a Cole Palmer out, and goes with that again. Yeah, I think the the first 11 in that Slovenia game will be very interesting, won't it?
Yeah, again, he could go safe and do Trent Alexander-Arnold and do the safe option and then integrate the youngsters in when he gets a chance, or because he doesn't want to lose the first game, or he could do like Pitbull says and just get the first game off to a flyer, tear them apart, and then go from there. But
was it the last tournament or the tournament before was it the last World Cup? We got a late 1-0 win, Tunisia or something, and then won the second game 6-0 or something. I can't quite remember, but we kind of got.
We beat Wales 3-0 in the groups at the last one, didn't we?
Right. I should have done more research.
That's now.
Say again.
What?
Italy are not getting out of their group anyway, so you don't have to worry about them.
Oh, I don't know.
Paul, you reside in Germany. What is the feeling, not throughout the nation, because you don't spend your whole time traveling around Germany, and you always tell me that you don't know what goes on in Bavaria when I ask you how Munich do. What, in your little part of Germany, what is the German feeling towards this tournament? Are they confident?
You only ever talk to one German.
They're not particularly optimistic, but they are still German. But they've got a chance. Nagelsmann's gone in. He's got a lot of youngsters now, all these new. Some of them aren't particularly young, but a lot of new players coming in.
So
I think if he picks the right team.
He's been in charge since old ball sniffer left, has he?
No, they had Hansi Flick.
Oh, Flick's gone to Barcelona.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Nagelsmann's in now.
Nagelsmann had a go at Munich, but they didn't like him. So,
but he's done a bit like Southgate's done. He's got, there's a lot of sort of Stuttgart players now who've had a great season. He's playing, he's getting them in his squad, and Leverkusen players which.
So
in the squad and,
if you
surely
won't
home
go through the
advantage.
whole, what do you?
I'd say England are favourites, but England and Germany jointly, just because Germany are playing in Germany.
Yeah, that's got to be huge.
Yeah.
For me, that's a massive positive.
Because the support is just going to be, it's absolutely nuts.
I think I discussed it with Tom. I think Germany playing at home, that's a positive. Spain at home, that's a positive. Italy at home, that's a positive. I think teams like England, we rode a wave with a good side. But then you look at the Dutch, who were a bit notorious. They get to the later stages and get a bit nervous. I think Germany playing the tournament at home is a positive.
And the group they've got, I think they could get a couple of 3, 4, 5-0 wins in that and
Easy.
Get a bit of momentum going. Some of these younger players who are just coming in for their first sort of big tournament get a few goals.
So you've got, Leverkusen runaway victory. Stuttgart pipped Munich to second on the final weekend. Nagelsmann has been in charge at Munich. So when you look through the squad, there is a lot of, there's a few Munich players in there.
Not many.
The Kimmichs and the Neuers, who could probably be in there anyway, wouldn't there?
What he's done as well, he's left people like Goretzka out. And
I was going to say, I can't see Goretzka. He's not made the squad.
No, Serge Gnabry's not in there. He's left him out because they haven't played particularly well for Munich this season.
I don't know anything about Pavlovic.
Yeah, he's. I don't, to be honest. I think I actually, yeah.
Yeah, but that midfield, look at it. Musiala, Kroos, you got Gundogan, you got, Pascal Gross doesn't really count.
Yeah, Pavlovic, he's only played once for Germany.
Now Florian Wirtz has had
class.
He is.
He's going to be the one. He's going to be the one who will win it for them.
And he will. He will start.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. Is he playing that Bellingham advanced midfield role?
Yeah, he's a bit more further up than. But I don't really know what Bellingham does for Madrid. I don't follow Spanish.
He plays high up.
The striker, yeah.
He's behind the striker, yeah, but he's also box to box. He's behind the striker.
He drops in
if he needs to, but he's more of a attacking midfield and will get goals.
It amazes me when I look at Thomas Muller. You think he must be 50 for the amount of time he's been playing, but he looks like he's in his mid-30s. He's probably the other side of 35 now, isn't he? But he's
34.
There's no questions about it. Is he in based on good season's form, Pitts?
He's had a terrible season.
He hasn't had a bad season, but he's going to be the one, I think, that is going to they're going to put him in there to hold it up. He won't start.
Okay.
No. He's like, if they'd left him out, it's like we've left Rashford out, basically. He didn't have that great a season at Bayern, did he?
No,
Didn't
but
really do much.
Well, there's a few Dortmund names in there, and Dortmund that didn't have they should have won the they should have been leading at halftime in the Champions League final, but they only finished fifth in the Bundesliga. They were miles off it after they should have won it the year before. You've got the other Schlotterbeck at Bochum, haven't you, Pitts? But I like Nick.
Not no more.
Oh, is he?
Did have.
Goal.
You had till yesterday.
And he had a great season for us.
What's going to be Nagelsmann's preferred? Tar has had an absolutely brilliant season at Leverkusen, but he's a bit of he's a unit, isn't he? Is he an international footballer with that sort of size?
Yeah, the talking Rudiger's going to start.
Right, brilliant at Madrid, yeah.
Tar, a lot of people want Tar to start, but then especially being around here near Dortmund, Schlotterbeck they think should start, and I'd probably go with Schlotterbeck as well.
Schlotterbeck would fit that international football role. Yeah. I think. I don't know.
They're both big boys, so they'll both.
Yeah, he's a bit more of a player. Schlotterbeck, he's a bit calmer on it.
Is he?
Better footballer.
Tony Kroos has announced his retirement. He could probably. I think he's going out at the top of the game, isn't he? The way he plays football, he could have picked up a contract in any top league around the world for a couple more seasons, couldn't he? He's obviously, I'm sure he would have had huge interest from the Saudis. He probably would have had interest from everywhere.
It's going to be him and Gundogan in the middle, just pinging it around.
Him and Gundogan will start. So they will start with So what will Nagelsmann go with? One up. Is Havertz a first 11 in this tournament?
Don't think so. Can't see it.
But so is Füllkrug first striker?
He'd be my first choice striker from the season.
You're not going to get Musiala on there.
He plays that sort of role that Wirtz does, really. Yeah. And I think Wirtz is 2 times a better player.
No. So does Nagelsmann will he go?
Musiala will be a great sub because he's fucking rapid.
Yeah.
Will it be more of a wide formation? Does Sane start then?
Sane probably will start. It'll be a 4, maybe like a 4-5-1, maybe.
Okay. No, yeah. With Wirtz playing behind a single striker and Sane and possibly, I don't know, is Pavlovic or
no? Who's the?
Because Undav is a striker, and is Maximilian Beer? Is he a? I don't know him at all. Is he a?
Yeah, he's very young. He's 21.
So he's there for experience.
Yeah, but I think he scored like 17 or 18 goals this season for Hoffenheim, and Hoffenheim haven't had a great season. So to be scoring that many goals, he's not an option. He's not going to start. They're still going to be very, very much
German traditional.
Who captains? Is Neuer the national captain?
Yeah.
So he starts.
No,
he's not starting.
Gundogan is, isn't he?
Gundogan.
Yeah.
So
I read today that Neuer only just made the squad.
Neuer will start
ahead of ter Stegen.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, Neuer was absolutely brilliant against Madrid until he wasn't in the last dying seconds, wasn't it?
Mm.
What's your feelings on this German squad, Axel, as you look at it? I mean, when you look at Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, I mean, some of the players I don't know, but then you look at the names: Kimmich, Gundogan. I mean, Pascal Gross won't start, but he's had a solid season. There's Tony Kroos, Musiala, Florian Wirtz,
Kimmich.
Brilliant side. How is another thing I've got written down? The fact that they're the hosts and they haven't had to qualify, is that a positive, a negative, or does it not really matter, Pitts?
I think the way they've been, even the last 2 years, they haven't been. This is the first sort of squad now, because the last 2 years they've been absolutely awful. That's why Flick was sacked, wasn't it? Because they were losing to everyone. I think if they'd have had to qualify, I don't think they would have done. They've been that bad.
It's a concern.
Honestly, I
If
don't
it
think
was-
we would have done. But now,
if it was anywhere
now he's
else,
picked a squad here, and I think this squad being at home, if this
Yeah.
tournament was in England,
they wouldn't stand a chance. That's what I was
even
going to say.
even looking at all the really good players they've got, I wouldn't put them past the quarterfinals in it with
Has
the same squad. It's
That's-
only the fact I think the fact that Germany are playing in Germany is gonna be 50% of what could win it for them.
okay, Axel, has the fact that this season Bayern Munich haven't run away and won the league by 30 points, do you think that's good for the national side? That Leverkusen and
It's
Stuttgart.
better, yeah. It's better for the national side, but it's not like Bayern Munich are full of 22 Germans.
No, that's a very
But it's
fair point.
it's better for the other clubs that have more German players, like those Stuttgart players and Hoffenheim and all of that. So they've had a chance to shine and come through, and the ones at Leverkusen. But it's a bit like the Premier League. The top clubs don't have. Bayern Munich have more Germans than a top club in England has English players, but still, who's their main German striker? Thomas Müller, and I guess
No,
Sané.
well, he's the best well known, but I'd say the best striker at the moment is that Fulkrug,
Who's
Yeah.
he? Yeah, that's true.
Dortmund.
Yeah,
I think it was Bremen last season. Got a load of goals for Bremen last season.
yeah. I meant Bayern Munich. They're like most well-known German strikers. They've got Kane, obviously, is a Müller. Germany only stand a chance because it's in.
They don't.
Germany.
Muller's not a striker anymore. They don't play Muller as a striker.
Yeah, I know they'll play him out up top and out wide, but
But I
just
think
behind.
why Germany are dangerous as well is because with Nagelsmann being there and with Stuttgart and other teams doing really well and Bayern not doing so well, he's gone right. I'm going to, bit like Southgate's done. I'm going to pick the players that have played really well. Don't matter what club they are. We've got a winger here in so and so who's played better than Serge Gnabry this season. We're going to put him in there. We've got midfielders that have played better than Goretzka. So
Yeah.
I think it gives him like a free pass for this tournament.
Yeah,
Almost where they can go out there and just play like they want to play. And if not, I don't think the people in Germany will be too. If they don't win it, won't be, or if they get to the semis and don't win it, they won't be too disappointed because they'll go, "This is a new team. He started over again at the World Cup." I'd be worried that I think Germany would come to the World Cup if they keep this squad here. There could be problems for everyone else at the World Cup. So
Yeah.
that's why they're dangerous because they no one. I don't think anyone really expects them to win it.
Well, they're in. Let's go through the groups because they are in Group A, host nation. So their first game will be against Scotland. But Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland. Realistically, based on form, the Swiss when they get to major tournaments, they tend to get out of the group. So do we think Germany and Switzerland make? Because it's it's the top two and then 4 lucky losers, isn't it?
Four third places. Yeah.
So do we think Germany and Switzerland get out of that group as the top two, or do Scotland? I'm writing Hungary off. Do Scotland do something in that group?
I don't think Scotland do anything.
I'd be writing Scotland off before Hungary.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Scotland are lowest placed in that group, aren't they, according to the rankings? But
Okay.
at a tournament, I think at a tournament, Scotland will have more fight than Hungary. Scotland might get a third placer, but
Scotland are lacking strikers. They keep going down with proper injuries.
just
He's
shove
not a
McTominay up
striker, is
top.
he? Anyway, he scored 9 goals in 3 seasons or something.
That's good for Scotland.
Didn't the last time they got to the major tournament yank that guy in who'd been playing in Australia for 3 years and he scored 2 goals in his last Aussie League game or something, so he got on the plane. Group B, potentially the first group of death: Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. I think a lucky loser will come from that, but who's is that Croatia?
Spain and
Spain should
Italy.
be favourites, but Croatia have been deep in all the major tournaments they've been in lately.
Spain and Croatia 1 and 2 in that group. Italy will be a lucky loser. I forgot about the lucky loser things. So they might.
I think Italy will do Croatia just because it's tournament football, and I know Croatia can play tournament football because obviously they've been deep in everything. But I think Italy will do them, and then Croatia will be lucky loser.
Yeah, because I mean, again, Albania aren't doing anything in there.
Mm.
Could
I
set
mean,
records. Could set records for goals conceded.
they could, but all it takes is like a Hungary or an Albania or one of those teams that we write off to get a draw or a lucky win, and then that throws whoever was going to be in complete chaos. And that there's always one or two results like that every tournament, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, I would assume goal difference is going to play a part probably in the lucky loser bracket, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't know how it works. So it must.
Well, I know it's 8 from it's 8 plus 4. So yeah, the last 16. So it must be. I assume it must go down to goal difference because there'll be no games, will there?
But what happens if goal difference is the same? Because that's a possibility if there's only four
Normally goes
Four
to
out of 8.
goals scored.
goals scored.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I probably should have looked that up.
Research.
Group C is our group: Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia, England. If you weren't an England fan, you might look at that and think that's a group. All Denmark,
Anyone.
yeah, anyone. Slovenia and Serbia.
I think
They're
Denmark
not
get out of it with
walkovers
us.
like Albania, potentially, are they?
No.
Well, no,
if you
who
put-
has
if you put-
Mitrovic?
If you put someone like Switzerland in
Serbia.
that group instead of England, you wouldn't know who was getting out of it, would you?
No. Denmark, Ericsson, Hoyland, Man United legends.
I think Denmark get out of it with us, and then it's a fight between Slovenia and Serbia.
Fair enough. Group D, Poland, Netherlands, Austria, and France. Everyone is talking France up, but they're also saying they're not quite as strong as the World Cup winning side. Austria again, a bit like the Swiss. They kind of always tend to get to these tournaments, tend to sort of get close to getting out of the group, but then don't do anything. Poland have got Lewandowski and quite a few Serie A based players. What's your thoughts there in that group, Axel?
Yeah, France are a shoo-in, and then I think it's between your Netherlands and the Poland because I think they're going to be two straight Austrias at the bottom of that one. But if Lewandowski turns up, and the Dutch are notoriously can sometimes just do nothing at a tournament.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
While playing
The
lovely.
Dutch will get out of the group before they bottle it.
Yeah, I see the Dutch. I don't see them anywhere near winning this tournament, but I see them as
You see them beating Poland.
I see them beating Poland and Austria, but probably losing to the French. So
You can also see him losing 3-0 to Poland.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, and the Ukraine. Belgium have got that squad that looks like it could win tournaments and they could quite conceivably come out of this with 2 draws and a defeat and finish near the bottom. They could. I've picked in a little separate WhatsApp group. I've picked Belgium to get out of the group, lose in the last 16, but Lukaku to win Golden Boot because he's going to get a hatful in this group.
No, he won't score.
What?
Yeah,
I think Lukaku will get 0 goals.
0 goals.
And the goals will come from the midfield because he is garbage.
He's only ever scored goals at Inter Milan, and he's got
No, he's had a good season at, was it Roma at the minute? He's had
13. He's got 13.
That's a good
That's
season.
good season for Lukaku.
But Tielemans has had a great season at Villa. De Bruyne is currently not injured. Lukaku's doing all right. It's an okay squad. Who's in charge of them at the minute? Martinez or Di Matteo?
Martinez has gone somewhere else after Belgium.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
I couldn't tell you them manager.
what do you think in that group? Belgium, Slovakia, Romania, Ukraine.
Belgium and Romania.
Okay. Ukraine getting no one sympathy vote there.
No.
Martinez is at Portugal, who are my favourites for the tournament.
What?
Let's get on to their group then. Turkey, Georgia, Portugal, and Czechia, or the Czech Republic, however you want to talk about it. So you've chimed in there, Axel. Why are Portugal your favourites for the tournament?
Ronaldo, it's going to be his final farewell, and they got Roberto Martinez, who he had his time with Belgium, he learnt a lot of lessons.
They've got an amazing squad.
They do have an amazing squad.
Yeah.
And they stand a chance.
I think, yeah. Again, if you look at the bookies don't make it up. They're right up there.
Yeah,
Um,
everyone they've got has got experience and are in kind of a good, like, even their defenders. Dallow's had an amazing season. You've got your Diaz, you've got your Cancelos, who's 30 now, good age. I mean, you've got Crazy Pepe, who's 41. Somehow he's made it on the plane.
well,
Big fan of him.
he's not retiring until Ronaldo retires.
Well, there you go. You got your Nelson Semedos. I mean, then you look at the midfield. You got Fernandez, João Neves, Ruben Neves. You got Bernardo Silva, like João Felix up top, Diego Jota. You got Rafael Leo. Like that, Ronaldo's still there. It's not a bad squad.
No, it's not a bad squad. But you just said that Dalot has had an amazing season.
Yeah, he's in the prime of his life.
Is there a different one? Because the one playing at Man United hasn't had an
Yeah, where's he playing, this fella?
What do you mean? The Man United's player of the season?
He's rubbish.
I could have been Man United's player of the season this season.
He got player of the season this season.
I know, but that doesn't say much.
Who gets out of this group with
Portugal winning it right now?
Portugal? Oh, yeah. To me, I think Turkey are a better side than Georgia or the Czech Republic at the minute.
Oh, I think Czech Republic will finish second and Turkey third.
How is what's his name? Schmidt. He's playing up front now. What's his name? Is he at Leverkusen?
Who? What's his name?
The Czech
You
guy.
just
Shit. What's his name?
You're just saying words.
No, anyway, there's a big Czech forward who plays in the Bundesliga, isn't there?
I don't know.
Let's find him. Someone waffle on. Axel, pick some lucky.
Schick.
Schick. Yeah, Schick.
Lucky losers will be Croatia,
Serbia,
Netherlands, and no, I don't know the other one.
So you're going for Poland to come out the group with France, are you?
Yes. Yeah.
If either of you had £10 and no more money in the bank, so you had your last 10 quid. You've got to take your English hat off. You've got to take your German hat off. Your American hat off. Who would you put? Who would you put that tenner on
to win this tournament?
Germany.
France.
Oh.
If I had more money available, I would like to put a bet on Portugal. But if it was gun to my head, it would be France.
I think I'm going with France, and then I'd have England and Germany as strong second favourites. Yeah,
I can't pick England without your Grealish and your Rashford.
Let's go back on ourselves.
I think England should win it.
I think we would if we had a world-class manager.
We could do a Simon Jordan interview here. What doesn't make Southgate world-class for you, Axel?
His tactical nous during games.
Big
tournament. Yeah. Tournament football is all about thinking on the fly. 20, 30 minutes in, you've realised it's not going your way. What do you need to change? And he doesn't have that. He's very much leave the players to do their job and just hope it happens. And then in the last 20 minutes, just chuck someone on.
I don't disagree. I would have almost said that word for word for me. I don't think.
And I'll tell you what, if on Friday with Nagelsmann in Germany, if they're 1-0 down to Scotland or 2-0 down to Scotland, if it happens after 30 minutes, he's going to put a couple off and he's going to put some young lads on there. He's going to go, right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Where Southgate wouldn't do that. He'd wait till that 60th, 70th minute.
And I think that's because that he's got that free reign, like you say, the Germans, they aren't expecting much. So if he makes a change at 30 minutes and it comes off, great. If it doesn't, at least he had the bottle. Whereas if Southgate makes a change at 30 minutes and it goes wrong, he will be hounded by the press. Every pundit will be talking on Sky Sports about it. He should do this. Like, there's too much pressure for Southgate in that job.
Has Southgate survived 8 years in this role? Then not survived. Has he stayed in this role for 8 years based on the abundance of talent available to him? Then Paul, rather than his ability as an international football manager.
Yeah, if he's a club manager, they'd have sacked him 6 years ago, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
I think Southgate's got there because of the squad.
but he
I
got
know
Sam Allardyce.
Yeah, but I mean, we always any average manager could have got the England squad to a World Cup quarter final.
Yeah,
it's just he does. I don't know. Hopefully he proves us wrong in this one, and at least he's trying something different. I know I slagged him off about Grealish and Rashford, but at least he's trying something different this tournament. He hasn't just gone with your bog standard one that everyone expected.
Yeah,
So
which is and it's the same as Germany. So
yeah, he's trying something, and maybe because it's his last tournament, he's just giving it a go.
Yeah,
But
it will be. If we don't win this, Southgate's gone. But there's other, Nagelsmann, if he doesn't win this, he'll go. Oh.
At least he's trying.
For me, Grealish is personally my opinion is it's too bold of a statement, and his club form hasn't been great because he hasn't spent much time on the pitch, and he has this reputation within the press. But he's kept himself since that silly COVID incident of crashing his car. He's kept himself out of trouble, and realistically, he was filmed for being on a bender for 10 days after they'd won the treble. But he was given leave by Pep, and he didn't get himself in any legal problems. I just look at the squad again. Let's get it back up, and there's too many players that he could have left out. Adam Wharton, from what I hear and from the brief stuff that I've seen, wonderful player. Conor Gallagher, good to see. Kobe Mainu, Carmen, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, Anthony Gordon. One of them could have stayed at home for Grealish to go, because Grealish does give you some. I don't think
you need Ivan Toney there.
Is Ivan Toney the like for like backup to, or as close to backup for Harry Kane as we've got?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's as close to a Harry Kane backup because he's a striker that doesn't play striker.
So if Harry Kane gets injured in the first game, looking at this squad,
I'd play Watkins.
Watkins gets in on form, does he? Because you don't put Cole Palmer in that advanced role.
Yeah. I would rather play Toney just because he's a bit different. He uses physical more than Watkins, but Watkins will get picked ahead of
Toney. Doesn't use his physicality as much as he could. He falls over all the time.
Yeah, he's probably in there for penalties.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
As much as we joke.
I think they should have left him at home and kept Grealish in there.
I think if Grealish had gone and someone like Ollie Watkins had stayed at home, there'll be talk about Grealish well into the tournament. The talk about Ollie Watkins would have been 24 hours of the press saying, if you have a season like that and don't make the major tournament squad, then you never will. But that would have been 24 hours.
That's fine. Yeah, like a Madison missing out.
Grealish, and the same as Bowen. Like the World Cup, they didn't take Bowen after the season he had, and it was maybe forgotten about.
And then nothing. Yeah.
Is there potentially? We don't know. Is there potentially more to it than football? I mean, Grealish seems like a nice lad. Everyone seems to have good things to say about him. But is there something that maybe Southgate doesn't like around the squad? I don't know. We're speculating.
I think Southgate's just trying to make a statement because he's trying to show people that he is doing something different, and he's not picking his. He's trying to prove to the press that he doesn't, because that's what they've said the last two tournaments, having your Hendersons in and your everyone. So I think he's just trying to prove to everyone. And if Grealish isn't a starter for him, then he's an easy one. Big statement, big name, leave him out, and then everyone's
So if he goes with the slightly more conservative approach of someone next to Rice, be it Conor Gallagher, Mainu, or Adam Wharton, that probably means Cole Palmer's on the bench. Does Cole Palmer become the Grealish type substitute then?
Yeah, but Eze will be the one he'll use off the bench, no?
On the
Yeah.
left wing, yeah.
I mean, they both play more central roles. Well, Eze plays because Palmer plays a central role at Chelsea, doesn't he? As more of a goal scoring role. Eze's more of a creative.
Palmer's out wide though still.
Yeah, out wide.
And I mean, 75% of his goals are penalties.
Someone's got.
Yeah, a lot of penalties.
I think Eze's your man off the bench. And then it's I don't know. Because, again, but I know Bowen's had an amazing season.
I think Bowen's going to get time. I think he's going to get
what
time
is he-
off the bench in this tournament. Because of the goals he scored.
Last 5 minutes before I have
As
to.
well, Kane doesn't get injured as well, so I don't know why they're taking 2 backup strikers. Kane's very rarely injured, is he?
Let's fast forward this. We've made it to the final, and win or lose, Southgate comes out in the press and says he's thankful to the country for all the support and he's going to stand down. Final quick discussion here.
Before the
Who
final.
do you want to see fill his boots, Paul?
Who do we want to see fill his
Mm.
For me, it'll never happen, but I'd like to see Jurgen Klopp given a go. I don't want Harry Potter.
No.
That's the way they'll go. They'll go for someone younger.
I would like
Young
yeah, I'd like the Newcastle manager.
No.
what's his name?
Eddie
I don't know
Howe.
why
Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe. I would
Yeah.
like Eddie Howe. Yeah.
Okay, and
Why?
but he has
He's
to
young, he's English.
Yeah.
That's
What's it
as good as
about?
I've got. Well, he
Do you-
doesn't do bad. His squad's not a world beater, and he got them into the Champions League.
So does the
There's
English
Newcastle.
Yeah,
manager have
Not
to
in the Champions
be
League.
you then, Axel?
yeah. I would like an English manager. Yeah,
That's and Eddie Howe because Graham Potter, Harry
They're going to go
Potter,
for Potter because that's why Potter's not taking any jobs.
yeah. But Potters are just. I think Eddie Howe has a bit more attacking football than Potter.
Yeah, and Potter's not great at spending money, as he proved at Chelsea. He doesn't know what to do with money. He'll be good when he's just hasn't got to buy players. He can just pick the best ones he's got.
do you is he got to be English for you then, Pitch? The next
No, it hasn't got to be, but I don't know who else there is.
I mean, if it depends.
Jose's
You
just
get-
taken the Fenerbahce,
Jose's gone.
You can get Pochettino.
but he'll be at Man United, won't he?
Well, Southgate might be at Man United.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
Eddie Howe, that's mine. That's where I'm.
that's fine. Southgate, I've not had enough because I'm not as big an England. I'm not into my England football enough to say I've had enough of Gareth Southgate because I'm not into the England national side enough to say that. But I would like a change. If Jurgen Klopp would take it on, I'd give him a go. If not,
Yeah. Cool.
Who was the champ manager bloke who was at Rennes or what, the French
Bill
team?
Still,
That's
Yeah.
him. Get him in there.
Yeah,
no, he's
and then we
gone
can all vote on the
And his
starters.
laptop.
he's
Look
signed,
at voting
to,
starts.
he's signed to Lens, hasn't he? He's got another job in France.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he's gone to Lens.
Well, that must have happened this week then.
Yeah, I think it has.
I've not had enough of Southgate. He took us to a final and a quarter final, and this we need a change. If he's not won anything in 3 tournaments, then have a
It was
change.
a semi-final, wasn't it? Against Croatia?
What the
Or was it?
Euros? Oh, I can't. Well, the World
The
Cup was
Euros, we
before,
lost
and
the
then we
final.
lost.
We lost the
lost the
semi-final
final.
to France last time in the World Cup.
And
That's
the
quarters, wasn't it?
semi-final- Oh, okay. Whatever.
Was
Yeah.
it quarters? Oh, no, it was quarters.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Yeah, I'd either like an English manager or a world classer like Pep or Klopp.
well, that's the other thing. Yeah. Could we put an interest? So Lee Carsley's currently doing wonderful things with the under-21s.
Yeah.
If we can get Pep on a pre-contract prior
years'
to
time.
last year at Man City, but then he could be in prison with all the Man City lot once these 489 charges get brought against them. Gents, I've got to go and do a gymnastics pickup run. Anything you want to sign us off with, either of you, before we say this has been a wonderful chat?
Yeah,
Actually-
England. Can England play Germany in the final?
I haven't
Wow.
looked further in. Well,
Right.
don't know how the lucky loser works.
I've got it up, but it would take me a while.
Okay.
What group are Germany in?
Germany.
They could, but it's all over. I don't know actually.
Yeah. I
Ignore
think
me.
with this lucky loser thing, there's not a clear path, is there?
It's all
No.
over the shop.
Well, I'd like England Germany final. England win it,
And
and Fulkirk will be top scorer in this tournament.
that's what I was going to say. Fulcrook, I've gone for Lukaku. Axel,
Oh, Kane.
Kane, and Paul.
Yeah.
Are you
Oh, yeah, Harry Kane.
are you allowed in your bar this year, or is it Germans only for the tournament?
In the what?
Weren't
the
they a
bar.
bit precious when you were drinking last time? They didn't like it.
Oh yeah, but the lad who was dancing on the table was giving them all the fingers left now, so we should be all right.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on Henry Weston's Old Mate, the Euro 2024 podcast. Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
What's the Euro?